going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Wrestle Purist podcast, episode 74. Joined today by Manny the Hooper, Charlie, and Backup Hangman, Ibu of Wrestle Purist. Of course, myself. We're going to be talking about wrestling is finally coming home. You know, the Wembley Stadium show has been booked, so we're definitely going to be getting all into that. Jay White is now all elite. He's signed to AEW. He re-debuted last night. We're going to get into that and just Dynamite in general and kind of whatever else comes up in the live chat and whatever else. So first things first, please like, subscribe, super chat if you're feeling generous. Always appreciated. Charlie, the fellow Brit on the screen right now. We were very, 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 very fired up last night when the announcement happened. How are you doing today?
Still kind of riding that high. It's been a very long day. Travelled home from uni for Easter, so I'm at home now for a couple of weeks. But it's been great. That's probably all I've tweeted about today is the fact that they're finally coming to England. So
finally.
It's been crazy.
Manny, I saw you was looking up. At plane tickets. You know, hoping. You know. How you doing?
I was looking up tickets. I didn't realize plane tickets were expensive, and then I also didn't realize I've never traveled anywhere by myself around the world, let alone outside of Texas. So I don't really know. So there's a lot of obstacles in my face right now if I go do that.
It's good stuff. Ibu,
how's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
This is actually probably going to be a surprise to you, Monty, as well. It's an announcement that I forgot to tell you off the air. This will probably be my my work schedule change. So this will probably be my last Thursday show for a little bit. But I love Wrestle Pierce, so I'm going to make it work, and I'm going to reroute myself to still be on this channel. But I'm happy to be here. Happy to talk all the news and latest happenings. I've spoken to so many people in the wrestling world, in WWE, in AEW, and so I have so much random nuggets of information that if you guys would like to super chat and ask me questions about, I'd probably have an answer to most of your questions if it's regarding whatever it is.
Listen to this Carney. Hey man, business is business, though.
It's genuinely true. I've heard a lot of things from a lot of key people in American wrestling. So if you have a question, feel free to
listen to this team.
Do that.
What are they supposed to ask you?
Whatever,
is this Jeopardy?
Whatever question you want to ask, I probably genuinely have the answer to if it's regarding the future of American wrestling and certain things going on. But even that notwithstanding, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk Dynamite. And so I'm ready to get into it. And I also have a definitive statement to make tonight about AEW and Wembley.
Okay. All right. So to be fair, the big news things, unless I've missed anything major, which I hope I haven't, because that would be it wouldn't be good for my rep. Most of the things that are newsworthy come throughout Dynamite anyway, so we'll just dive straight into the Dynamite review. Really, obviously starting with Ricky Starks versus Juice Robinson, which didn't happen because about 30 seconds into the show starting, who comes out? It was Jay White. Jay White comes out. He attacks Ricky Starks. Him and Juice going up on Ricky Starks, and then they deal with him. Ricky Starks did get a little bit of fight back. They didn't just completely geek him, I guess. But yeah, man, Jay White's in AEW. Tony Khan, not long after the segment, tweeted the graphic. It is official. He's all elite. Obviously, there was a lot of speculation about him going to WWE. At one point, it seemed like that was the favorite for him to land at. But, a lot of things have changed in WWE over the past few months, so I'm sure he's weighed up those sort of things that we're talking about. But it looks like, he's in AEW, man. Probably definitely the smart choice to make right now, And I've always said this, when you're young and you're a name, you can kind of, if Jay White goes to AEW and don't quite work out, he can get out of there, and he'll still be fine. He'll still have his reputation, so it's always a lot less consequential for the younger guys, you know. But yeah, man, Jay White, AEW, big signing. I think a lot of people would suspect him to be a future world champion at some point in the promotion, and yeah, huge signing, huge signing. We'll have to wonder what happened with the WWE deal and why that broke down and stuff. But Manny, you've always predicted this. You've always predicted this. You never wavered when reports were piling up. You know, you didn't come off track. You always knew Jay White was coming home.
Look, if you go back and watch that match with Eddie Kingston, there was a certain twinkle in his eye, and I'm saying Eddie Kingston saved this man's career. That's it is, and Jay White probably looked up the crowd and saw CM Punk and said, "Hey man, I could probably wrestle this motherfucker too, man." So it is what it is. Jay White saw what was happening out in the Fed, and he just took his chances with AEW, and I don't think he's going to regret it. I think they're going to put the rocket on him, and he's going to be a pretty big deal in AEW.
Yeah, he definitely should be. Like I was saying,
no more 45-minute main events.
I think it might have been on yesterday's show. Where it's like, hopefully with Jay White, with him coming in, it's like hopefully he's like quite a centric character. You know, he's a big signing. He's young, and he's someone you can definitely give the ball to. He's proven, I think. The few times that we've seen him on TV, he's looked very comfortable, and he's a great talent. Ibu, what's your take with AEW landing the signing of Jay White?
It's a no-brainer for them. I mean, he's one of those guys that if he's available, you got to scoop him up, right?
Mm-hmm.
My reaction is that Jay White is an asset. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has in the sense that I've been observing Jay's career now since 2017, and I went from not being a believer at all in him to seeing what his merit is as a wrestler, and yet I'm still to this day not like completely sold on him being like a completely main event of a pay-per-view level heel. And it's one of those things where AEW is a great environment for a wrestler to flourish, and I'm looking forward to seeing him maybe change my mind. So I'm looking forward to that. I loved when I saw him against Trent Beretta on a Rampage. I loved seeing him in a TV format try to wrestle. I thought it got a lot out of him. So I'm happy that he's here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. So that's just my general opinion on that.
Yeah, man. He's I think he'll win you over. Mm-hmm. Charlie, what do you think?
I'm very excited that Jay's gone to AEW. I had kind of made my peace with the idea of him going to WWE, so I was like, there's no way they fumble him. And then the Mania Night 2 main event happened, and I was just like, fuck, let's hope he doesn't go to WWE. And then he didn't. He turned up on AEW, and I think it was a smart decision to not run the match with Juice and Ricky. I feel like there's going to be a lot more with that down the line. And all I'm going to say is MJF needs to be scared when they cross paths, because he's going to be exposed on the mic. When it comes to he's going to be exposed on the mic. You get him in a ring together, it's going to get nasty. And I'm very excited to get my agendas off on that day. Let me tell you that.
You're gonna Charlie, I'll be on that podcast. And if you think Jay White is about to school Max verbally, I mean,
100%.
Oh, well,
he's going to absolutely wash him.
Well, I'm gonna say I prefer Jay White because he doesn't seem like a character, and MJF seems like a character. And I don't know when MJF's in there with real people, that don't pretend. He seems to get lost out there.
What are you talking about?
Hey man, the only evidence we have is with CM Punk, and CM Punk carried him during their feud.
Ooh.
What?
Hot takes.
All right.
I'm excited for it. I think there's a lot of potential here, and I am a Bullet Club mark. I'm excited for the Bullet Club Civil War that's going to happen. We're building to Forbidden Door. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, there's a lot for him to do in AEW, 100%. And like I said, it's a big deal him coming in. I think it's kind of, I don't want to say lost in the shuffle because people are absolutely excited about it. We've just opened the podcast with it. But so much is going on in wrestling right now. It's been a wild week or two. So I think when it really settles in, like next week or the week after, when he comes out and cuts a promo or some shit, yeah, I think it'll hit more than how much of a big deal it is that he's coming in. I love Jay White, man. I think, like I said, hopefully he's more of a centric character to the show, because I think that's what he needs to be able to like actually do what he can do. I don't want to see him just like on the mid card having like matches. Like when AEW gets a new signing, and Tony was always criticised this, like he'd give him a bunch of matches at the start, and then they'll just kind of get lost in the shuffle. Jay White's too good to get lost in a shuffle, I think. So, hopefully, like I said, he's very centric to the show. We've got a lot of super chats, so before we move on with Dynamite, I'm going to get to those. Scrumbo199 says gruesome twosome. I don't get the reference. I think it's is it one of the names that WWE trademark?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I'll still guess. You know what I mean? I can get through these shows.
We're back here live on Monday Night Raw. Oh, what a maneuver by the gruesome twosome! Oh, what a maneuver there!
Messy times. It's messy times at that place. We'll see what happens. I guess. Murph YouTube, of course. Don't go lives. Murph Tuesdays. Shout out him. 199. Monty, what's it like being me? Listen, bro. I've seen the light. All right. I've seen the light. We'll get to it, brother. Bry Harper 199, appreciate you. Definitely felt like a statement from TK. 100% agree with you. DB $2, appreciate you. Cody Luger wins the title at SummerSlam or Saudi. I'd say SummerSlam, but
Saudi would suck.
So Saudi would be nasty, bro. Like you can't.
Yikes!
Bro, that would suck.
Nah. Come on.
Get not up money.
I'm taking that off the screen, man.
Messy.
Happy for Monty, Charlie, and Joe. 3 goats of UK. Appreciate you very much. Shout out Bam as always. We are all very, very fired up. Showtime Spurs $5. Appreciate you. What is your most outlandish prediction for all of them? Mine is Orange Cassidy comes out to cigarettes and alcohol, seconded by Liam Gallagher. Listen, bro.
That's hilarious.
Tony needs to be doing like all his billionaire shit for that show. I want to see Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua on the undercard.
Oh no.
We need to be cooking.
All
Pylons
the pomp and circumstance.
Absolutely. Pylons $5. Appreciate you. Who Swerve's new backup? I don't know, man.
So Pylons, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
Don't know.
You're gonna find out Swerve's new backup very soon. They are actively employed by what happened?
Man, his reaction to your like vague start.
What's the point of asking questions?
So I was gonna say I wasn't even done, Manuel. I was gonna say that his backup are people that are actively in AEW or employed by Tony Khan. They currently frequent Ring of Honor.
Okay.
They're monstrous men. They've kind of gone through a carousel of managers, but it appears that they will be settling in with Swerve.
Yeah, you don't need to drop any more hints, I don't think, brother.
Nah.
What else you gonna say?
Just beat it over the head. We got there. It's fine.
We get it. Globe Wrestling 199. Appreciate you. Ibu, are you ready for Punk versus Omega at Wembley?
I'd love to see Punk versus Omega at Wembley. I think everybody would love to see Punk versus Omega at Wembley.
Sounds like big business to me. Sounds like very big business. Very, 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 very big business.
Would you run that there when you've got All Out the week after?
Listen.
But to be fair,
I want to sell
England is the
every
neutral
ticket
country, so
possible.
the crowd ain't going to pick a
ticket
side
possible,
on buyers. So maybe don't run it in Chicago, actually.
Fill her up, Tony. Get that stadium full, brother. Every ticket you can possibly sell, every string you can pull. Let's get cooking. Before I get carried away.
That's not even neutral. He's from Canada.
Yeah, so the crowd's not going to be biased either way.
Doesn't like the UK have like presence in Canada?
The crowd
Not
don't
really.
give a shit about that.
That's just because they love Bret Hart, I think, you know. And that gets Brits love Bret Hart, so
Yes, they do, and there's a specific reason why. So,
well,
Are you talking about SummerSlam?
yeah. I was gonna say, Monty, what's the last show wrestling event in Wembley?
SummerSlam, like Charlie just mentioned, with Bulldog and Bret Hart.
What are the
I think they just like him anyway, though, as well. Like.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like that specific. Like,
Monty,
Wembley, brother. Yeah.
What were the colors of the ring ropes at that venue?
Oh, bro, you testing me out. I should
easy.
know this.
Yeah, just you know it.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah. And what are the current rope colors of
Why can't you just say this? Why do we have to have this tennis back and forth? Like,
stay with me.
We got less than an hour. You know.
Stay with me. What are the current rope colors of AEW?
Red, white.
You know, who are the biggest Bret Hart fans employed by Tony Khan?
Oh,
FTR.
Is it just FTR?
I know what you're getting at, you know, but I'd still put FTR at marginally above Punk, you know.
Hey man.
Hey man. Yeah. That was painful.
Yeah, that wasn't worth our patience, you know. Anyway. Why is Murph asking this up there? Yeah, Murph YouTube 199. How big is Batista's you know what? Manny?
There's no straight way for me to answer that.
Oh, you know.
Straight face. Princess Diana, $5. Appreciate it. Iba, do you plan on coming to our wonderful country for All In?
Princess Diana, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
He ain't got the minerals.
You know what?
He's a coward.
I'm not going to completely rule it out.
I am. You ain't welcome.
You're not allowed.
You're not welcome around here.
I'm not allowed in Monty territory.
Listen, you got to make some calls before you can do that. You know.
Got to check in with the right people.
Henry Charles, Albert David, 999. Omega versus Ospreay. Jamie Hayter versus Mercedes Moné. Danielson versus ZSJ. Books versus FTR. Julia versus Cargill. Me versus William. Let Tony make All In his WrestleMania. Elite Gang will don't bang. Yeah, I'm with the very, very last part of it where you say make it their WrestleMania. Again, we'll get into it a little bit later in. Not too long though, because I'm fired up. Darren Walker, £5, appreciate it. If Ibu not on Thursday, only Anna the GOAT can replace him. Ayo can't fill the shoes of Ibu. Listen, bro, Anna's busy, bro.
Anna's a very busy person. We're trying to get the second episode of the ACA podcast rolling, and it's not happening right now because of none of our schedules line up.
It's tough out here, you know. Anna's you got to book. Even if you book in advance, it don't matter, you know. It is what it is, bro. Busy woman, you know. Working hard.
Thank you so much for the super chat.
Princess Diana, $2. Harry, please talk with Grace and Decorum. Agreed. Deck, I think. $2.20. Appreciate you. What are WWE gonna do to mess with this?
They're gonna run an NXT show early with a special start time of 4 p.m. That's what they're gonna do on the 27th.
And all it's gonna do is sell more tickets for. That's all it's gonna do. Because people will be like, "Oh, I can make a weekend out of it or whatever the fuck," and you know, it'll be like the UK Mania weekend, you know. So, Darren KG, $4.99, appreciate you. Nigel Danielson, MJF Ospreay, Park Takeshita, ZSJ Shibata 2, Jamie Britt, CMFTR Elite. Pro wrestling isn't dead. It isn't. It is not dead, brother. I'm with you.
MJF Ospreay's an interesting show. I'm not sure I'm
it
with
is.
that, but
It is. I'd be very interested to see how that would play out, you know. I'm sure it'd be very good, but I'd be like mainly interested in like seeing
Yeah.
how those.
It's
those
never a
styles.
matchup I've considered. It's,
Wait, what was the match you suggested?
MJF versus Ospreay.
That is weird. I don't want to watch that.
It's weird.
Yeah,
I'm more
interested.
It's good weird though.
I'm more interested in the promos.
Yeah, the promos would be fun, but I don't want to watch that.
Would they?
Yeah, they'd be.
No, I don't know if they would be fun. I think they would just like. I just don't think you'd be able to look away.
I think the promos would be fun. I don't want to watch them.
I'm gonna get called bruv once and go on a tirade, and it's just gonna be fascinating.
We'll see.
Interesting. Maybe not for All In, but maybe down the line.
Griff 199. Appreciate it. What we think Impact does for All In It.
All In It. I love this joke so much.
I don't know, man. I'm just sure. I'm sure we get some sort of featured match, though. You know.
Probably international belt, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, it'd be nice if a few UK wrestlers get like crowning moments, like even if it's just the international title, you know, like a little TNT title win or just like something.
Yeah, see what happens.
Jamie's successful defense or whatever.
Now we're talking Vikingo versus Pac.
Oh yes,
that'd be cool because Pac is a broad, strong guy, so he could base for a lot of Vikingos.
Yeah, he can do that shit, bro. That's his cup of tea, you know. Right, okay, let's keep rolling these. I'm gonna power through these last few super chats. We appreciate these ever so much. You see how no one's asking you boo questions, you know.
And the thing is, the thing is, I have answers to your questions. That's the thing.
No one's got questions to ask, bro. You got no. You don't have the answers, either.
No, the thing is, I genuinely do.
Mavs fan 84 199. Best WWE storyline right now is the public humiliation of Triple H.
Sending him out to cut another show opening promo is like beyond disgusting. Like
it's nasty as fuck.
It's nasty, especially when you find out that the first time he did it, he got his chair stolen while he was out there.
Wait, that's legit. That's what happened.
Yes, he went. He cut a promo on Raw, and while he was out there, Vince took his chair.
Oh man,
snooze lose.
You gotta leave one. You don't even stay for the show. You just go back to your hotel. Just get to have a beer or two.
Just walk out at that point.
All right. Bam $2. Back up. Do you believe the Elite all 4 re-signed?
Bam, thank you so much for the super chat. I think it's happening. If it hasn't already, I think it's happening.
I think I tend to be in that it's happening. I don't know if it's happened yet, but I think it is happening.
2/3 of it has happened. I'm not sure about the last one yet. But... That's my opinion.
Tony L, $20 super chat. Appreciate you very much. Can you see Gresham back in Ring of Honor?
Thank you so much for the super chat.
Okay, to be fair, I actually could see that happen like one day. Like, I don't see it happening anytime soon because I don't feel like there's any there's a lot going on in the Tony Khan verse right now. So,
Tony, thank you so much for the super chat. John would like to go back to Ring of Honor.
It's his home, isn't it? It's weird seeing Gresham Impact, bro. He's always been like on the Indies and stuff, but like seeing him like he's at Impact now. It's just kind of like it's weird. Yeah, it's weird, but he's got to do what he's got to do. He's out here, he's still grinding. He's still having pretty good matches from as far as I can tell. He had a good one with that. Yeah, I was gonna say he's having good matches with Bailey.
I feel like he wrestles Mike Bailey like twice a month.
He's probably only wrestled him like twice.
No, I guarantee it's definitely been at least 7 times, like legitimately.
He shows up to Impact tapings and like his name's next to Mike Bailey. Like, fuck, I saw other guys,
Parker 199. We love Parker, of course. Don't go live. He says 199. Appreciate him. Do you still need another guest or not? I'm going to send you the link because we always want Parker on shows if we can get Parker on shows. So Parker is incoming, hopefully.
Let's do
it. Unless he's randomly got busy in the past 5 minutes or so when he sent this All right. What was the next thing in the show? So you can fill dead air while I'm doing this. Blah blah blah
Okay,
blah.
sure.
Adam Cole
Yeah.
video package, planting more seeds for the Jericho feud. Then there was a Jericho promo where he's confronted by Keith Lee, and he backs down from him. So Ibu filled dead air with his segment.
With what, the Keith Lee?
No, just talk about the segment. Fuck.
All right,
What with
well,
children, man?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, Jay White, he pulled up. I thought, you know, I'm glad we didn't see Juice Robinson versus
Not that
Ricky
segment.
Stu-
Jesus.
Bro, you just threw
No,
me a fireball and it was like,
let's just move. Let's talk about
What was the
Buddy
next thing on the
Matthews versus
show?
Orange
So
Cassidy.
Keith Lee versus Jericho is going to be interesting.
That's
There we
interesting.
go, Charlie. The only fucking.
Thank you.
I'm scrolling through Twitter. I'm working with these children.
No, I
You
forgot.
do the
Oh,
hangman. It's
I forgot what
fraud.
happened next. Yeah, no,
All
Keith
right.
Lee and Jericho is interesting for sure. It seems like the
Same.
broader storyline is Chris Jericho and Adam Cole.
Mhm.
And that's definitely one of those programs that like Tony's probably really into that because it's like that's easy TV for me. Like I could just let them talk to each other every week, you know. So like, yeah, it's just easy TV. They're two really good promos. We'll see where that goes. Adam Cole's the babyface in this situation, and if nothing else, that's a lot of heated television segments. Keith Lee is somebody who right now is actively trying to get in better shape. And so he's trying to do that and reestablish himself on television. Tony soured on the Keith Lee swerve thing after the Parker Boudreaux match. And subjectively, I hope that Keith does well enough to kind of maybe wake the boss up a little bit with all that stuff. So that's kind of my thought on that whole thing. I don't know if you have anything to add on that, Manny.
No, I don't.
Yeah, not so much. Yeah, you covered it, brother. You
Right.
covered it. Okay, next up we had House of Black versus the Best Friends. The main thing I have to take away from this is that Bud Matt is back.
He's
Mhm.
back.
Oh, he's back. He's really back.
He
You know,
was so fast in that match.
he's showing
Blink
glimpses
missed
against
it.
the Elite. He's showing glimpses against the Elite, and then, oh baby, we got him big time last night. Parker's here. Parker, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
Good, man, we're good.
Very good.
Which doesn't happen often. It was good. That was funny.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, man. How you doing, Parker?
Wait, they just asked me that, so I'm doing.
Still doing the same.
Man, I'm like half paying attention. Man.
Can you act a bit more professional on the world
Pause.
famous Wrestle Purist podcast, please?
True. I feel like Manny right now. I need to be back on my shit. Oh, the people popping for Parker. Dumb guy lives Parker. You know. So
Laz is fired up, bro.
Yeah, man. If you guys wanna see the
Thank you,
video-
Laz. Laz is a loyal dumb guy liveite, so I appreciate.
Yeah. That's my guy. He's a personal friend of mine.
Just a quick
Oh.
sidebar.
Yeah.
Jack Whitehall tweeted about All In, and that's just really fucking funny to me.
That's some real British scraps right there. Yeah.
I was gonna say who is Jack Whitehall?
He's like a
He is a
British
comedian.
comedian and
Okay.
television host. So
No, okay.
and he's actually an actor as well. So, yeah.
Wait, I just realized, Monty, wasn't there a super chat earlier asking for like a bold prediction at Wembley?
Oh yeah, we never really talked about that.
We'll get to it. Keep it in mind. We'll get
Okay.
to it. We'll
Okay.
keep it in mind when we get to the Wembley stuff.
Marcus is like, ooh,
All right.
ooh.
All right, so House of Black trios match versus Best Friends.
Right.
Manny, I'll throw it to you because I know you're a Bud Matt stan like myself, and we need to hold praise on him. You know.
Yeah, I'm so glad that the Elite got the spooky lore out of their matches, because if this is what the House of Black is going to be doing now for all their matches, man, I can't wait. I need Buddy Matthews unleashed, because he was. It was so insane watching the clip back about how fast he was moving in there with the Orange Cassidy.
He's an animal.
I thought my TV was on 1.5 when Orange Cassidy got in the ring with him, because they were hitting the ropes super duper quickly. Other than that, I don't have that much to say on this. I actually wasn't super thrilled with Brody King and Malachi kind of like playing Trent and Chuck's game, so to speak. I kind of would prefer personally if they were like kicking their asses. But it was a house style AEW trios match, and the crowd was super hot for it. And yeah, Orange Cassidy's just so good, man. He's so consistent. You know, you could plug him in anything, and it's clear Tony wants to keep him on TV every week wrestling, no matter what. Probably because he does well with the quarter hours.
Parker, do you think much of this trios match last night?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think I'm pretty similar to Ibu. I didn't think it was anything like crazy. It's just one of those things like AWTV matches. There's definitely. I love this episode, but it's there's definitely like a formula that they have, not just for matches, but for like the TV format of the matches. Like, do a dive, go to break, come back, closing stretch, and it's over. And it definitely puts a cap on like how great things can be. But for what it was entertaining. And the story that they were telling on commentary was pretty dumb. I thought they were like Malachi Black baited Orange Cassidy into this match, and I was like, why would he want that? Like, I don't understand. Why does he want to wrestle? It's just pretty dumb. So anyway, but no, I like all these wrestlers, and it's weird because someone like Trent, I know, is a really good, just great wrestler. I've seen him have great singles matches, but he's just not that like. Oh, and Sue was a lot of fun, but he's just like he doesn't have that like that special thing to him that makes him you want to push him as like a singles guy, which is kind of disappointing because I always think that guys like that would fit well better in New Japan, which is where I think we've seen the best stuff of Trent's career. But that was a lot about kind of an unspectacular but still good trios title match.
Yeah, man, good stuff, Charlie. You're a big. Hopefully, I'm not mistaken, but I think you're quite a big Orange Cassidy girl.
Oh yeah. I love Orange Cassidy. I think
I'll get these things mixed up sometimes, you know.
Like, I like Best Friends as a whole, but like all of this like Orange Cassidy singles run has been great for me because it's just been so many matches that I've enjoyed. But I really enjoyed this trios match as well. I think it was a bit of an exhibition match, literally just for Buddy Matthews, whatever his fucking name is. He did really great in this match. Malachi Black's like been like not getting into shape, that's not the right way to say, but he's been cutting again, and you can really see it on TV now. Like, he's transformed his body again, and it's quite impressive.
Putting on that muscle,
yeah. Like, especially like after his back injury, that's like really good to see. Like, he's like proper getting back into the swing of everything. And then Brody King's just a beast. I want more Brody King singles matches against other big guys. Just put him in the ring with everyone. I want to see it all. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It was a great time. I love the trios division, and I hope they do more with it.
You're gonna say something, man?
Yeah, I don't know if it was just me or anything, but did Buddy look smaller to y'all, or did he?
I think he's cut back, and that's why he's improving. Yeah.
He looked pretty. He looked just like Bud Matthews to me. I don't know.
I'm telling you, man. But Buddy, when he's 205 pounds, man, he's a different guy.
yeah.
When he's 205. All right, so
that's a shoot.
Yeah. Next up, we had Christian and Luchasaurus. They're going to be They're going to be getting up to some mischief, it seems. So, what do you think is going to be next for them?
They'd be a good challenger for FTR. I think that'd be fun.
Oh yeah. We are cooking.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Yeah. I'd never. That never crossed.
That's set in the back for Luchasaurus, you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's not
for the dinosaur.
Never thought about it, but that would be a fun TV match, and Christian would probably build up to it by telling Dax he doesn't care.
Cash will hit him with a German, and the crowd will come up for it. You know.
Christian's gonna say on the mic that he doesn't care about Dax's daughter.
This is perfect.
That's what he's gonna say.
It's great.
Yeah,
I love
it. Manny, you ready to see Christian and Luchasaurus back?
I'm so glad to see everybody's favorite stepfather. You know, he's awesome. You know, I missed him, and I'm glad that the turnaround was only like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I can't wait to see what they do next.
Charlie, what do you think's next for Christian and Luchasaurus?
I don't really know. I just think it's going to be a program to fill the time until Adam Copeland turns up in AEW, because I think that's happening. I think that's happening before the end of the year. But if they just like, if they can get some fun tag matches out of it, I'm all here for it because I like Luchasaurus. I think Christian's great. It'll be a fun time. Just put him in with hot baby faces. It'll be a good time.
Man. Ibu, you ready to see Christian and Lucha Boy? Lucha Boy? Christian and Luchasaurus link back up.
I don't care about Luchasaurus, but I love Christian. I think he's awesome. And
how can you not care about the wrestling dinosaur? You know,
no,
he's the dinosaur.
Yeah, I don't care that much about Luchasaurus, but I love Christian, so it's good to have him back. He's good TV. You know, he's good TV.
I like that he doesn't do lucha.
Yeah.
He's good like that. You know. Riho versus Jamie Hayter. Obviously, AEW Women's Championship match. I thought this was a really, really strong showing for both women. Another good total defense for Jamie Hayter. She's having caught the rain. Charlie, I know you was a fan of this. What's your main takeaways?
I think this is the best match that they've had. And I really like the fact that they didn't put this after the announcement, because it deserved everyone to have their full attention on it. And if it had been after the announcement, like this was like true for me with like the BCC segment and the FTR match, my focus wasn't in it, and I wanted to be focused on this women's match. And I'm glad that Outcast didn't interfere and they just had a backstage promo after. They just let them have a really good TV match. And it was really great. And Rio deserves the TV time. Jamie's an excellent champion. The women's division is improving. Slowly but surely. We're getting there.
I mean, fingers crossed, you know.
Can I take it next?
Yeah, of course you can.
He made a face like, fuck. Come on, you asshole. Give it a minute. I was just gonna say I love this. This is my favorite thing on the entire show, actually. Like outside of the announcement, like this is my favorite thing on the show. After like a bit of a rocky start, I think it's been a really, really nice week and some change for American women's wrestling. Like I'm seeing a lot of really good matches between like everything that Athena's been up to on ROH TV, and then the pay-per-view, and then the 2 women's title matches at Mania. Like there's a lot of like high-end women's matches in America right now, like just in the last maybe 9-ish days. And it's like making up for like maybe a bit of a slower start to the year, unless I'm like missing something. I thought this was like the best wrestling match in the show by a pretty decent margin. And yeah, man, Riho's good with the high speed stuff and the lucha stuff, and Jamie Hayter is a beast, and it's good to see her in this capacity. I enjoy this from Jamie more than just like the tedious angles from the Outclass. You know what I mean? Like her just kind of running around with them and stopping the spray painting is like, that's just not the way to maximize Jamie. Just the way to maximize her is just from wrestling. So I enjoyed just seeing her wrestling, and I thought this match was awesome.
Yeah, man, she's great. Parker, you got anything to add?
I think this is evidence that my philosophy as of like, if I was ever to book, I would just be like, for the most part, just if you have a champion, just make him like the best wrestler in the division. Like you don't have to overthink it. I think Jamie is easily the most, well-received champion they've had since Britt, and Britt's a major star. But I think in terms, like a certain segment of fans would say Jamie is like way, way better than Britt, because a lot of people didn't like Britt's reign. And so you can't find anybody who has something negative to say about Hayter herself. I mean, you can obviously, criticize the Outcast stuff and whether they're going to, have Britt turn on her or whatever. But I mean, if you've got someone as good as Jamie Hayter, make her your champion. Like, put on great matches, allow that to happen. I'm also like, Riho's like my favorite wrestler in the company. And so I'm always very happy to see her wrestling a big spot here. This was exactly as good as I think it should have been.
Manny, did this match get your approval? We know what you're like.
Yes.
Yes.
Riho Nation, stand up, man. We got another dub. We took the loss, but another dub that she was on TV. Add another banger to the list. And I popped that Riho couldn't really chop Hayter, so she just started like double palming her. That popped me huge throughout the match. Man, women's wrestling is back. All hell.
He's back. As Charlie mentioned earlier, there was the Outcast promo after, which was, it's Outcast promo. Was there any weird hints or anything that I missed? No.
No.
There was like, I think it was
Bailey
that said it. yeah. There was this, like, the
that was
women's
Chris's
division needs like a bit of control, or like more
There'd be
control.
something. There's always something with these AEW women, man.
Yeah, what's their deal?
Everyone
That was
just like, oh, it's gonna be Bailey. And I was like,
what? Yeah, why are people actually jumping on that? Like, do people? Is this like, are we memeing or like?
well, it's because they keep doing these like wink, wink, nudge, nudges to random people. Like, I think they're just teasing. They're just name dropping.
We can't trust it after Britt Baker and Mercedes anymore.
No.
They did the same thing with the Bella twins. Like, they did the you can look but you can't touch. Like,
oh yeah, they did.
You've just got to take it at face value that they're just like being like, haha, we've got the better women's division. Like, everyone thinks so. Like, that's all they're doing. You just got to take it at face value.
So that's the reason. Yeah. So now that I think about it, now that you say that they did it with the Bellas too, that might just be like a subtle part of their gimmick. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, like wink at like a WWE woman wrestler or something. I don't know.
Yeah, like they're the outcasts. It makes sense for them to tease other people that would be outcasts. Like, whether I agree with it or not, that's different. But
yeah, well, we'll see what they do. Yeah. Next up, we had 2.0 and Jake Hager out there with the Acclaimed, and they did some Acclaimed-ish. Parker, do you enjoy the scissoring?
Yeah, the scissoring was great. I did not watch this actually. I was indisposed at this time. I don't really care about 2.0 at all.
Yeah.
So I was like, nope, I got something else to do. So no, I did not watch this. But I know that they're teaming with the Acclaimed on Rampage, right? And so are they?
Interesting.
From what I missed the recent Rampage, but like here it was basically like, do you know what gets Daddy Magic's nipples hard? And he cut his promo, and they want the Acclaimed to join the JAS, and they were trying to get them to scissor, and Billy Gunn came out and was like, only I can scissor properly, and then they scissored. The Acclaimed's rap did not mention any of the big news from WWE, which is surprising. They just kind of had a regular rap, but yeah, the fans just scissored, and that was like a thing. Was there anything else to the segment, Monty, that I missed? They didn't wrestle or anything, right? Like,
no.
I don't believe so. Maybe we're supposed to be professionals, but
I genuinely forgot.
Yeah, it was just it was one of those weird times for my attention. It just kind of it was fading. I was checking my phone, and I'm not Wembley. I was waiting, bro. All right. So next up, we had MJF Day. MJF, you see a clip of him getting the key to the city. Then he comes out and he's got like the big time band, and he's jamming, and he's like he's got like the Saturday night show host feel to it, and he's loving it out there. He's singing. He done a song, and then he comes down to the ring, and he has the mayor or whatever the fuck, some sort of politician that got booed by the fans owned. And he puts him over. He gets the key to the city. He cuts a promo. The crowd's loving it. It's in Long Island, of course, And MJF, man, he just felt like a big star, and he was just kind of popping himself. And we got Jungle Boy at the end when MJF was about to do his encore. He attacks him. And that was kind of like the angle in terms of forwarding the story. But the main part of the segment was just kind of, MJF kind of swinging his dick around in Long Island, which for the most part was,
it's always fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
It's such a unique crowd dynamic that you don't get much in modern wrestling, which is just that we're rooting for our guy. We don't care what his face heel alignment is. We just like our guy, and anybody opposed to him is going to get booed. And like, you'd get that sometimes in like, with Chicago in the past and other, Bret Hart in Montreal, but you don't get it much now these days. So it was fun to see it from that standpoint. I think Max has a talent that like a lot of the Attitude Era main eventers had, not named Triple H, which is that we can just make really preposterous ideas work on television. You know what I mean? And this is so like just ridiculous. Like I was like, what's going on? Like there's a band and he's singing, and then there's this guy who's like a councilman that he's just like, hamming it up with on TV, and then he's talking about his teacher and stuff. I was like, this is like ridiculous, but he's a god in the setting, and they were up for everything, and they chanted ADD and stuff, and shat on Mrs. I don't remember the teacher's name, but
Benedict.
Was it Benedict? Yeah, Mrs. Benedict.
Mm-hmm.
He called her a bitch, and he's shitting on Mrs. Benedict for crapping on his dreams to be a pro wrestler. So yeah, it was fun stuff. Max was super excited to do the segment, and he's always great in Long Island. So I had a good time with this. I even enjoyed Jungle Boy being one of the hidden like band members and attacking him. So I was entertained by this. Charlie, you're not the MJF person, so I'm just curious what you made of MJF Day.
This was such a surreal experience because first of all, I completely forgot that MJF could even sing. So like when he started, I was just like, wait, what the fuck is happening right now? His promo it was an MJF promo. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. They're not for me for the most part. I enjoyed the Jungle Boy stuff. There was a split moment that I thought Jungle Boy was Christopher Daniels, and I don't know why. Like when they started,
he looked like the Blade to me. I was like, what? What's going on?
I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck is Christopher Daniels doing? I think it was just because I couldn't see his hair. And we talked about this last week. Don't get rid of Jungle Boy's hair because otherwise it looks like
so weird with short hair.
Yeah, like, it was strange, but I like the beatdown. I like that it led into the Sammy Guevara match, but Sammy Guevara's Sammy Guevara again. Like, yeah, it was just very, very surreal. Strange times.
Parker, you're usually on the I want wrestling on my wrestling show kind of fan, So it always intrigues me to see what you think about these like longer, because that wasn't wrestling,
So I think if you're like, there's so much like generic TV like bullshit every single week on AEW, whether it's AEW or WWE or NXT or wherever. There's just like the same promo you've seen a million times. Like maybe people try to do something unique with it. Like I will say, like for example, during the show, I thought Keith Lee stood out as somebody who was able to make his promo stand out a little bit more beyond something just sort of generic, right? I love MJF segments like this. I think they are literally always like major hits for me. I think he's so entertaining, and that's all I really ask for. Because
be creative,
like,
right?
Yeah, well, my thought is just like I'm in it for the wrestling. Believe it or not, I know ahead of time whether Claudio versus Eddie is going to be a good match, right? I know. Like, I'm pretty aware of that. They don't need to sell me on anything. So if you're going to do some promo segment like this, I don't give a shit about the fucking build, dude. I care about whether it's entertaining, all right? And if you want to further some Jungle Boy and Sammy Guevara stuff in there at the same time, do that. But I think MJF is entertaining every single time.
Park, you know what that reminds me of?
I love these segments. What's that?
Do you remember when and I still think I'm correct on this, but you pointed out to me because I was like burying like Asuka and Bianca's like segment or some shit, and I was like, oh, this is all terrible, da da da. And you just said it to me, and you were like, stop getting worked. You said something like that to me, and then like the match ended up being like really good, and
Yeah, well, that's my thing. Is like, yeah, I've never since I was like a kid really been like when somebody's like, oh, the build's been kind of bad, I'm like, what? I guess if you're if you're not online, or if you just watch the weekly TV or if you're a sort of really classic fan who gets into the story way more than anything that happens between the bell, I guess that matters to you. But I watch wrestling because of wrestling, and aside from that, like if you manage to make yourself stand out as somebody who, like me, who's like a pop culture omnivore, I watch a lot of movies, watch a lot of TV, all that type of stuff, then I think that's pretty cool. And I think MJF is awesome. I thought this was so entertaining. I'm also I'm a teacher, And a teacher should never tell a kid that they can't do something. That's so bad. That's
terrible.
Don't because then you'll create a terrible person like Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And
Mrs. Benedict, you're a piece of crap.
Yeah, what the hell, Mrs. Benedict? I hope you're not teaching still.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Asshole.
So no, I loved it. It was great.
Manny, another one of our not a big segment guys. Well, where was you at with this one?
That sucked. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, whatever.
Oh God bless.
I was in Discord.
Never waver.
When they were in, I was in Discord when I was watching it. And when they said encore, I said, "Oh fuck, man, come on."
Manny's something else, Monty. I remember when they did the 4-way pillars segment a few weeks ago. I saw on Twitter, like while I was at work, I just saw Manny tweet like, "Now the show can begin." When the thing was over, I was like, "This guy, man, this guy."
No, I was so glad that I was so glad I wasn't with my family when this was going on, because my family was there with me when Chris Jericho and MJF did it the first time when they danced and everything. Never gonna forget, like my mom just being like, "Is this what you really can't do anything on Wednesdays? Because you're watching this," and I'm like, "Well."
They don't get it, brother. They don't get it. You know,
you have to be initiated. Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the segment, when Jungle Boy and MJF are brawling, the title's kind of like left in the middle of the stage, and Sammy Guevara just so happens to make his entrance to the match, picks up the belt, holds the belt up. Of course, you know, he's going to be in the next title match, it looks like. Quite a scary visual, seeing Sammy with the big belt, you know. But yeah, man, next up was Sammy Guevara versus Commander. Is it Commander or Commander or Commander, or just simply Commander?
Commander, right? Like just Commander.
I'm looking at Parker. I'm looking at Parker very closely.
Commander?
Manny,
like, that's what it is. I don't know what to say. I'm the only. I don't think Manny would know. I don't think Manny would know.
Oh, I just call him Commander. I mean, there's no like
exactly.
I don't even know what you like. I don't even know what you call those like things.
All
in Spanish
Parker did was just sprinkle sazon on the name, and it was like,
it's how it's pronounced.
Commander. Commander.
For me. Anyway, I'm just looking. I just want to point out. I'm looking. I just did from Manny the Hooper MJF on Twitter, and there's like so much about him like loving MJF and how he's like a great heel and all that type of stuff from years ago. So,
bro, he's so any wrestler Manny doesn't like. Search his name with him. He's incriminating tweet.
Yeah, he's like. Yeah, he's like on May 29th of last year. He's like, why isn't
that's last year.
as loud as MJF deserves?
The funniest one was
I haven't liked
the Thunder Rosa one was my favorite.
I haven't liked him since he's been champ, because he just comes out there and just takes so much time from the show. I'm just like, come on, man. Like,
he deserves it, man. He's a superstar.
But yeah, man. Sammy
if he sings every week, he can.
I mean, if he was a superstar, he'll be having the show at higher ratings. I mean.
What did we think of Sammy versus Commander?
I said this on Twitter. It was like a Nitro Cruiserweight match because it was 5 minutes. One of the guys was a relative unknown doing really spectacular things and getting over while doing the spectacular things in 5 minutes. And Dave's going to go 3 3/4 on it. So it's a Nitro Cruiserweight match. I dug it. I was watching it at the beginning and I was like, you know how, Monty, you always talk about, like, you know, a lot of people are great wrestlers these days, but like, are they TV guys? You know what I mean? And I was looking at Commander, and I was like, is Commander a TV guy? And then he did the floating thing again, where he ran across the rope.
Is that what you messaged me about?
Yeah. I was like, and then he did the floating thing, and I was like, nah, you got to put that on TV. You just got to put that on TV.
So impressive.
Yeah, he's just fun. I enjoyed this because it was an exhibition where Commander can do his stuff, and it's always gonna get over because it's impressive. So I enjoyed the match. The post-match promo, not so much, but you know, you can't have every W.
Yeah. Anyone got anything to add to the match part of it? No. Fairs. Okay, so after the match, Sammy gets on a hot mic. You know, and he got this promo that is kind of like, I thought it was brutal. You know, I came on Twitter. A lot of people seem to like it. I think the content of what he was getting at, like the point he was trying to make, was like there was a good promo in there, you know, but I thought, yeah, it went a bit long, and it's just kind of like Sammy's just kind of not the guy I want to give a live mic to, you know. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but like I said, I'm not always right. I'm often wrong. Charlie, what did you think?
I think it should have been a Rampage pre-tape. I don't think they should have given him the live mic, especially not in MJF country, because you're not going to get your point across in front of a crowd that loves the champion. Like it should have been done as a backstage promo on Rampage. Like the meat of what he was saying and the point he was trying to make makes sense, and it would have been good if like he wasn't just like panting and like just chatting shit around the point. If he had just like said what he needed to say and gotten out of there, it would have been a lot better. But you live and you learn. Don't give Sammy a live mic.
Yeah, it kind of dragged. Like, it kind of. I was saying to Ibu like earlier on today. Like, it kind of felt like Sammy like went over his time, because it's like there was a point while he was like quite deep into his promo, and Tony Schiavone like comes and gets in the ring, and it kind of felt like a cue to kind of be like, you know, come on, mate. He carried on going, and he was going and going, and as he was leaving the ring, like Tony kind of like said something to him as he was leaving, and he was just like, yeah, he definitely felt like he went a little bit longer than he intended to. So, yeah, Parker, you're a big Sammy G fan. What do you think of his promo skills, though?
Yeah, I don't know if he was. It's just weird. Like I think he's an awesome wrestler, like an exhilarating like wrestler in the ring. And I don't know that he, like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't care nearly as much if like someone's like kind of a bad promo. It takes like Cole Carter to make me like be like, whoa, what happened? But
that wasn't a shot at all.
Spiteful.
Parker, you know my favorite Parkerism? You know that thing you do when like someone cuts a really bad promo and you'll tweet like, this guy cut the greatest promo of all time.
He's the greatest promo of all time. I definitely tweeted Cole Carter is the greatest promo of all time after his debut. But like, that was like, what happened? Why did you come out and do that? So I don't think Sammy's that good on the mic. I think he's better than I think he's had better performances than people give him credit for. And I'll also say I don't think he was really set up for success here. Like you should be able to cut a promo, right? No matter what, but it was immediately following that crazy MJF segment. It's in Long Island. There's also character stuff, like he's a heel who's also supposed to like he's like being a babyface against MJF, but not against everybody else. Because he still like taunts Jungle Boy when he walks out and all that type of stuff. So that dynamic is really strange, and I don't know that it works for him. It just stinks because like people just hate him. You know what I mean? Like they love booing him, which is too bad because he's such a good like babyface wrestler between the ropes. So I think he's kind of miscast right now. But at the same time, I'm still super stoked about the Four Pillars segments and all that type of stuff.
I think it's this is probably a hot take, and we'll get to it with the BCC thing. I think out of the two-headed monster of the big stories between that and the BCC thing, I think this one, this build is slightly stronger.
Yeah,
I think it's
a hot take. That is a hot take.
I will explain why when we get to the next segment. Yes.
Yeah, man. Anyone got anything else to add to Sammy's promo?
Did you guys see Sammy's gimmick thing that they do on the reality show?
The All Access thing.
Oh, Access. That's what it's called. You see him like try to fake cry on that yesterday. I saw a clip of it.
I haven't had a chance to watch the episode.
Yeah, I don't think he was faking it. I don't know.
Fuck, man. When I saw that, I thought he was trying to make him seem like so sympathetic, and he's like, and then I popped at the end, and then when Tay Conti came in, she said, "Subway Sammy would be proud of you." And I said, what's going on here? That's all I gotta say. Like it was so bad.
Beautiful.
With her like weird accent.
All right, man. All right. Okay. Next up, we had Hook versus.
God, this happened.
Because I was in a rush.
episode would be kind of buried if it wasn't for the announcement.
Yeah,
before you get to this, Monty, before you get to this, I have a question for anybody in the chat. What do you guys remember a couple years ago during the pandemic when commercials would happen and then Sammy would come out and he would he would have like poster board and he would like show it during commercial?
Started.
What was that about? I don't get it at all. I don't remember it. I don't want to hear it. Charlie, I don't want to. I want to hear it from the chat. I want to know.
I'll put my opinion in chat
because I don't know what that was or what it led to or what it was trying to do or anything like that. Just let me know. Just let me know. Murph, you just say it was Beast, but I don't know what that means. Anyway, Hook.
Yeah, Hook versus Ethan Page. Yeah, man, they wrestled and Matt turned on Ethan Page at the end and hit him with the belt and Hook got the win, of course. And
what response?
But yeah, man, Ethan Page done his job. He, and Hook's Hook, And
you let them tell you that they pretty much told you you're old.
Nah, that's not true. That's not true.
But yeah, Matt Hardy, obviously with him turning, it seems like they might be throwing up a bat signal for a certain enigmatic
charismas.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Yeah, we spoke about Jeff. We spoke about Jeff yesterday, so we'll see what happens. Not too much to say on it, because all right, that's what I really want to talk about. This one.
Fuck you, Chi-Town Spurs.
I've always been what does he say? Parker's like 33. No, of course not. Anyway, right, let's move on. Professionals. I've always been kind of, anyone who's watched this podcast knows that I've been quite hard on a good old TK, quite critical of him.
You want something to man up.
Yeah, I've accused him of not, going balls to the wall and swinging for the fences in times when he could have. And it's been a quite depressing week for me as a wrestling fan. The Code Man couldn't get it done on Sunday. Still think it's one of the biggest fumbles to ever happen in wrestling. That kind of killed a lot of my interest in WWE. Like immediately, it's actually even surprised me like how hilariously it's like killed my interest in the whole promotion. But so yeah, that happened, and then you hear about like the Vince stuff, and then Raw happens, and there's that terrible opening segment I thought, and then you hear when you're watching Raw, you're hearing about all the mayhem backstage. All right, Vince is back, territory's cooked. The fuck, and it's like, all right, man. I still love AEW as well. I love both companies, so it's like I want them both to be doing well. So it's like AEW. It's just like I need, but there's no Punk. You know what I mean? There's no still things that I need from AEW. I still want them to do like the big things, and last night there was a few rumblings before, like Charlie will test this. There was a few rumblings about like Wembley and the stadium and the arena and like where they're going to run the UK venue. And there was a few rumblings like a few months ago, and it was always Wembley Arena, which is like a 10-15k seat venue. And it just seemed a little bit reserved. You always seemed a little bit reserved. Like, yeah, they'll fill it up immediately. Like, immediately they would have sold that out. So those are the rumblings a few months ago. Then like about 3-4 days ago, a certain someone was talking to a certain someone that was talking to a certain someone, and Wembley Stadium got mentioned. And I thought it was just one of those things where it got lost in translation. Like, oh no, they just mean Wembley Arena. And then it was mentioned about 40k tickets. And I was like, okay, this person might be cooking. And then I went to another person who spoke to a person who spoke to a person who spoke to a person. And they also mentioned stadium. And I started getting fucking fired up. Fired up. And but then Sean did his report and Select, and it was like Wembley Arena's been announced. So I was like, okay, that makes sense, because like Wembley Stadium is straight up like insane, like it felt like a pipe dream, but I was just hoping on. And then so like I said, with Sean's report saying it was the arena, it was just like, right, got brought back down to earth. And then good old the big Don TK makes his announcement with the legend that is Nigel McGuinness, the British sweetheart, and they announce along with Adam Cole that AEW's UK debut is going to be in Wembley fucking Stadium. 90,000 people potentially. I think this is genuinely the most optimistic, balls on the table, fucking ambitious thing that Tony Khan has done as a promoter since literally like founding the promotion. Like this is billionaire promoter shit that I've always wanted from TK. Put your balls on the table, spend some money, and let's fucking, let's cook, let's do this shit. Wembley Stadium, Charlie, I know you're probably even more fired up than I am. AEW is coming to England. How are you feeling?
Not only is it Wembley Stadium, it's all in.
Oh, yeah.
And not only, like, as a wrestling fan that's been following the Elite for over 10 years, as much as that pains me to admit because it makes me feel old, but, like, obviously All In's very special to, like, a lot of Elite fans. But it also just says the faith they have in this event, the fact that they're bringing back that show. Because, like, the whole thing with All In is just like, oh, these indie guys won't sell out a 10K arena. And then it happened. So, like, it feels like a lot of the same stuff's being repeated of, oh, they're not going to do a big number in Wembley Stadium. Like, they've gone too high. And it's like, I really can't wait for the crowd to prove you guys wrong.
Yeah, that pre-sale.
It's gotta be insane. Wait, I'm not done. Hang on. I'll let you talk in a minute. But I don't think people realise just how accessible London is for the rest of Europe as well. Because, like, if this is the only show they're doing this year in this area, like, outside of North America, then there's going to be a lot of people travelling from, like, other parts of the UK, from Europe, like, even from America. I've got plenty of friends that are like, we're coming over for it. Like, why wouldn't you want to go to Wembley Stadium? Like, it's going to be a lot bigger than people anticipate. And this is me taking a victory lap, because I tweeted something yesterday and people were all up in my mentions telling me how wrong I was, that it wasn't a big announcement, that that's not what it was going to be. And it was Wembley Stadium, and it had Nigel McGuinness and Adam Cole involved, and I'm very excited.
I loved everything about this. Cody Rhodes declared on Ariel Helwani's show that the spirit of All In was dead, and thankfully he's wrong. You know, AEW is built on the optimism of just the movement of professional wrestling as a whole. And it people make memes about like Triple H, the Infinity Gauntlet, but it does seem like Tony Khan has an Infinity Gauntlet with access to the wider world of professional wrestling. And I think he will exhaust every last asset he can to make this as special a show as possible.
Swinging for the fences, brother.
I'm saying, you got to do it because
tickets to sell, brother.
There's been times where they've run different markets, right, Monty? And they'll do the most timid pussy thing ever of like, oh, let's run like the 6K seat thing. And it's like, you can do better than that. And it's almost like a fear of not selling out. It's complacency. It's timidity. It's just accepting that you're at a certain position. And you shouldn't do that, because at the end of the day, Tony's a billionaire and they have the best roster I've ever seen. And so it's like, no, the sky should be the limit. Swing for the fences, like Monty said. And some people have said, like, oh, well, logic would dictate they can't fill Wembley. They could only do this and that much. Fuck it. I'd rather and respect more Tony try and fail. I respect it. Like, let's say he goes out there, they go on sale, they do 28K. Then, oh, well, you put 28K on the camera side and you shoot that shit like it's full and you never turn the camera around. WWE does it for literally most of their big four stadium shows, not named WrestleMania. It doesn't matter. 28 is still a big success. And so I think this is great for AEW. And I'll tell you what, man, the first All In, I remember when it was first announced. If you were there and you remember, there's a lot of fans like, oh, what if Bryan Danielson was at this show? Because WWE didn't clear him at the time. Oh, what if Bryan Danielson's at this show? What if CM Punk came out of retirement? Well, you know what? They're both going to be at Wembley. And it's going to be special to see them It's going to be special to see AEW wrestlers. It's going to be special to see New Japan wrestlers and whoever else Tony brings in. You know, Parker, how I always bitch about long shows? I want this show to be 5 hours.
Yeah, this show better be long as shit, dude.
Yeah, I want
not 5. Let's go 6.
Punk, Moxley, Omega, Danielson, Page, Bucks, everybody, MJF,
Nigel,
everybody, throw everybody on this goddamn show.
Joe.
No. My bold prediction is Bill Goldberg will be on this card.
Oh God, don't ruin it for me.
It's gonna happen. That one's not 100, but Bill Goldberg.
That's some real shit. That Rey Mysterio is going to be on this show.
That's a little, you know.
That's very bold.
Edge is going to be on this show.
Yeah, that's another.
Drew Galloway. Like even when we start saying
Drew Galloway.
My prediction is
the grizzled young vets.
Go on, man.
My prediction is we're gonna get FTR versus Edge and Christian on here.
That's crazy.
You got anything else to add to the announcement itself as well, man?
Not really. It's just gonna rule.
Parker?
Yeah, it's super exciting. I'm always whenever there's like a big announcement and it's like some other show that's not like anything that really affects anybody who's watching, like in person, I always think that's like bad to do.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like the one time like biggest AEW show ever in a new market with potentially Punk coming back and all this stuff. Like it was like one of the rare times where it feels warranted to do something like that, because even if you're in attendance and you're not going, right, this show's gonna be fucking incredible. How can it not be? Just based on the talent, what they're gonna do to try and celebrate. Like odds are we're gonna get Omega Osprey, something like that, right? And that in and of itself is like sells the show by itself, right? And that doesn't even account for Punk, Goldberg.
Yes.
I do have a question because
don't think I was joking about Goldberg. Like I was not kidding. He's gonna be at Wembley. Yeah.
The rumored matches for Forbidden Door are, because I saw that thing, it was like Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson, and then Osprey versus Omega. Would you just switch those matches to the All In show?
No.
I
don't know, man. We'll see. What
I think with Osprey, it depends how his shoulder heals.
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been any update on that at the moment.
He'll be ready to go. He said it was just like you said it wasn't going to be an extended.
I think it was just a separation. So
I heard that. I heard he's going to be. I heard he's going to be ready for the show. Like he's going to be like 2 weeks before the show and all that. So.
Right.
It's 5 months away, more or less. So
one more thing, real quick, Monty. Everybody always talks about like what's going to be AEW's crown show, the WrestleMania, right? And I've seen people argue like they don't need one, and I think it's great that they're going to have one in the sense that this is going to be their big blowout show that makes them look so humongous. And if it was up to me, I'd run All In every year at a stadium. I would do it every year.
Yeah, I agree. I like the idea of All In being there once a year stadium show. Obviously, it doesn't have to be in the UK, Wembley every time, and it doesn't have to be on a different continent every time. Mm-hmm. But you can, you do them around America and just, once a year, you put all your balls on the table, and you fucking go. You swing for those fences, bro. That's what you do.
Sir.
You just patch me a lot, man. Like I said it at the start of my rant earlier. Well, not rant, start of my speech earlier. I've always been quite hard on Tony, especially like in like the past like year or so. But it ends. It ends until August 28th. Because it's just like I said, bro. It's balls, It's fucking to do your first ever stadium show on a different continent. Like just that in itself is insane. And that stadium just so happens to be.
When I
was stunned when it ended up being
stadium.
Yeah, I was stunned that it ended up being Wembley Stadium. Like people were talking about it in the chat earlier, and I was like, no fucking way, dude. Are you kidding me?
Parker, there's no guarantee
the home of England's national football team. Like, dude, like what? But it did. It's
funny.
The reason why it's insane. The reason why it's insane is because there is no guarantee or precedent that AEW could sell tickets to that extent. And
it's literally like AEW booking the Tokyo Dome.
And it's like, what? And like he has no precedent on it, but he's like, I'm still running it anyway. Let's see what happens. Like
AEW is the #1 show in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. If you look at the live TV numbers, but look at the times that stuff's on. You know, it's hard to like really take too much from it. But it's like even still, it's just yeah, man. I'm
People are starving for good
Tony,
wrestling
bro.
here. Like,
He's done the
I'm
thing.
looking forward to that first day it goes on sale. Like, I'm not a ticket freak, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those like ticket freak guys. But the day it goes on sale, I will be like keeping track, like immediately, like how much.
I am terrified of this pre-sale. It's going to be
May 2nd pre-sale, general sale May 5th. For those that don't know, you can sign up to the pre-sale on Ticketmaster/AEW Wrestling. I think it is.
Are you bringing the girlfriend, Monty?
Yeah, I'm dragging her with me.
Oh boy,
she's gonna have to call into work.
If you're signed up to Fight TV, you've probably had an email about the pre-sale because I got 2 today.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's just Tony Khan going all out, you know, doing the damn thing, bro. For real, we go swinging for the fences. CM Punk's obviously coming back. You don't book that without Punk, bro. Like, come on.
I'll this. I will bet my WrestlePure's career that CM Punk will be at this show.
I hope he gets injured.
Could you imagine some sick? You know, Park. You know, I always jinx things accidentally with stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like Punk has like an ankle injury or some shit.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah. So I'm a TK stan now, and just got one last thing to add in. Manny and a few grinners will be familiar with this one.
Coming back, AEW. And if anybody can put this company over when they're good, it's me.
We're coming to Wembley. Wrestling's coming home, people. We're fired up. We'll be there. There will be WrestlePurist presence at All In London.
Public service announcement. The fans want to see it. Elite, we love you. Please work CMFTR. Please do it for wrestling fans, please. If you can do this, if you can make it happen, if you can just bite the bullet, please do it because it'd be amazing, and you'd be able to create like probably the greatest storyline of all time in American history, and it would just be so memorable. So yeah, it's just one lowly man's opinion, but it'd be awesome if you guys did that. One last thing
I'll say on the Wembley thing, because fuck it, I'm fired up. I think Charlie's in the same boat as me. I think that AEW is genuinely going to shock people by how many tickets they sell for this event.
100%.
I think the reviewers, the journalists, etc., the people who you think might know something. I'm seeing that the average estimation is around like 30, 35. I think they're clearing that, honestly.
That was what I said for like the minimum, and they're putting that as like the max they're gonna sell. I think they blow that up.
The internal goal is 40.
I think they do that easy, genuinely.
I told
Monty 70.
Going to genuinely be one of the most disastrous pre-sales they ever have, because I don't think they're going to anticipate the traffic on that website, and there's going to be a lot of crashing, and it's going to be mayhem, and
there'll be Ticketmaster though, won't it? I think. I don't think they'll do AEW ticks for that.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, they won't. But I still don't.
Say that would be a nightmare.
No, yeah.
I don't think
Ticketmaster should be okay. Hopefully,
I just want to say again that even if they do kind of struggle to meet expectations and kind of undersell, I will still say this publicly. Like, I don't think they should see this as a failure, and I think that it's just, again, you have to try. And then maybe not succeed, then rather than just be timid and be like, no, we'll just be at the level we are. You gotta make these attempts, even if they don't get to a level that they're trying to with the sales of the tickets. So I don't really care what it does.
I said this on Twitter. It's better for them to overshoot and have the options to open up more sections if they need them, than to undershoot and disappoint thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's
man.
What I want to say is I hope CMFTR versus the Elite happens there, because I think that would be an electric feel there. I mean,
imagine
that happening in the UK.
About FTR, but like that stadium singing their theme song is going to be crazy.
But it's gonna be the atmosphere will be like, you know, everyone knows that like UK crowds. You put a good event on in front of the UK crowd, it's gonna be like an incredible crowd. So
you add that the soccer chants and stuff.
Like you add that to the AEW UK fans, and it's just like it seems like the perfect mix, you know.
Question: Are the members of the band Kansas still alive? Does anyone know?
Yes. Yeah, I think they're still alive.
What terrible pitch are you going to come out with now?
It's like they should do Carry On Wayward Son live, even though they're 70.
Yes, I would do Monty live performances of Wayward Son and Cult of Personality at the show.
Or do you know how much I would cry if they did a live performance of Wayward Son?
Wait, what did you say, Charlie? Said you would cry?
Do you know how much I would cry?
Yes, I'm saying, bro. Give me live Wayward Son, even if they're 70. I don't care. Just give me live Wayward Son and give me live Cult of Personality.
Who's the main one?
All right, so let's finish off this Dynamite. Right. Yep. So next up, there was a Blackpool Combat Club squash. They squashed some local talent, and then they did this segment where they basically, you know, they call out more or less Hangman. He comes out to take on the whole of the Blackpool Combat Club. Probably not the smartest decision that a babyface can make, but he did it, you know, and he gets the shit kicked out of him. They get a screwdriver and they're fucking stabbing it in his eye and stuff, and it's quite the brutal beatdown as Brian's like cutting his promo saying that, you know, no one's there for Hangman, and you know, and it's just kind of you're hoping and you're waiting that someone's going to come out and save him, and it's not happening, and it's just this brutal beatdown, you know. It felt very Moxley-esque, you know. It was you know, it was a segment.
That was awesome.
You know, obviously it drove home the point of, like, you know, you want Hangman to be, you know, reunited with his friends. So I guess it achieved what they were trying to go for, I guess, you know. Manny, you just said it was awesome. Do you have anything else?
It probably huge because I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to it because like I was on Discord, but I went back and rewatched the segment, and it is kind of dumb that Hangman keeps going out there to confront these four awesome guys every week. But it's like I just enjoy Bryan Danielson just screaming amateur while he's just like stabbing him in the face with it. And I honestly felt during the segment they were trying to bust him up the hard way, and none of them could do it. That's what also popped me. And then the crowd chanting for CM Punk.
They did chant for CM Punk. They
want CM Punk to save Hangman.
Which is hilarious.
I didn't hilarious.
Yeah. I didn't think this was a very good segment. I love Bryan Danielson. I think he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and his verbiage and material like popped me. But there's a couple like just production issues here. He's a lot of what he's saying, talking about like nobody on the show looking like wrestlers and being amateurs. It's supposed to be a heel thing that the fans are supposed to disagree with and boo him for, but you can audibly hear the crowd like agreeing with him that like, yeah, you guys are real wrestlers and these guys are bullshit.
I agree with him.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like you're not supposed to, but the fans are, and so that's a problem. Hangman Page walking out to fight for people makes him look really stupid rather than badass, and I think they wanted him to look like valiant, but it just made him look dumb. And then the biggest issue is that they're gouging this guy's eye out with a screwdriver on a professional television show, and there's no referee out there. There's no security. There's no police.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, they're trying to gouge a guy's eye out literally on live television.
Yeah, and you're waiting for him to come out as well.
And nobody is stopping this. And literally on the exact same show, security and referees broke up Jungle Boy fighting with Max on the stage. And so it's one of those things where I think there should be some quality control to kind of like create some type of consistency, because it's like clearly in AEW it's not allowed for people to just start brawling unscheduled like with Max and Jungle Boy. So why should literally mutilation of someone's eyeball be allowed on the same show? So I thought it was a little silly in that regard. And the first like misstep in this story, not that I think it affects it like long term, but I didn't think the segment itself was particularly good.
Well, to be fair to the security guards, they have been getting their ass kicked by the BCC. So
I mean, if you want to sell that everyone's terrified of BCC, don't send anyone out to help Hangman.
Like, I don't know. There's a line.
Hangman has no friends. He's hated. The Dark Order aren't friends. The Elite aren't friends.
I
Hey,
don't,
man,
I
the
don't know
elite,
about this one, man.
Listen, man.
the Dark Order's been getting their ass kicked too. I wouldn't want to go out
There's
there.
gonna
That's awesome.
be
Omega,
a
who's never
segment.
lost to Moxley, is scared of him.
No. There's gonna be a segment on BTE where Kenny's
my
like
God.
held up in some bullshit backstage because of Don
Never watched
Callis.
BT.
So,
Mm.
well, it's a good thing I do.
All right.
So I
Keep
can
your
just
eyes
do all
peeled.
the
Keep your eyes peeled on BT, people. But all right, let's finish up this review. We've got FTR in the main event, careers versus titles. Well, AEW careers versus titles versus
Many
Gun
men.
Club. Yeah, Gun Club make their many men entrance coming out to Many Men by 50 Cent. This felt big time. They look like stars, which is just like
Sick.
hilarious.
production was
It's beast.
incredible here.
At the end of the day, they are the tag champs. So you got to present them a certain way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they nailed it with the presentation. FTR, of course, they come out. They're beloved by the live crowds as always, and yeah, man, FTR get the win, and the match was heated because the crowd were just there for FTR. They were ready to see them crowned as tag champs, and there was a near fall at the end where Dax is hit with a belt and he kicks out, and the crowd really comes up for it. So they definitely did get the crowd, But in terms of like an actual, actually being like critically right in the match, FTR they done their thing, like it's FTR, bro. They have a very very high floor, but the guns, man. They're just out the depth. I think in these kind of matches, they just kind of like lack like like sometimes you'll be watching a wrestling and like they have good instincts, and they have good timing and those kind of things. Like the intangibles that make a wrestler like a professional wrestler that should be on TV. Like they just don't have those things, I think the timing's like really bad. They're a little bit clunky and stuff. They're just, like I said, they're not like terrible wrestlers per se. They're just kind of like out of the depth in this kind of position, bro. Like they're just way out the depth. I think maybe one day they can get to like title contender, title holders again, and they're more suited for the level. But I just don't think they're. Like again, out of the depth. That's kind of my takeaway from it, to be honest. Parker, where was you at with the main event?
Yeah, so there are a lot of teams. So I shouldn't say that. There's like a handful of teams in the world who are like they can have a good match with anybody, right? Like the Bucks, Lucha Bros, like when Omega and Page were a team, right? It was like they can do anything with anybody. I thought they were one of those teams, but I guess the Guns just aren't quite there because not even they could get a great match out of FTR.
I caught me so.
Oh my god!
But no, so I thought this match fucking sucked. I love the Guns. I think they're really entertaining, and I actually see like genuine like big potential in them. I really do think they'll be great someday.
Hopefully, hopefully.
They're just super hateable, and they like it to an unnatural level. But yeah, the wrestling in this was just not there, dude. The match was really clunky, and there was like miscommunication, and dudes just like it wasn't like a spot fest thing where dudes are standing around waiting for like some crazy dive or something like that. It was just like they had all these spots they needed to get to, and it was like the Guns were trying to remember them and get in position for everything. And it just like I don't like to look too much into that because I'm not a wrestler and I don't want to, pretend like I know the ins and outs of everything that's going into these, preparation for these matches. But yeah, at the end it was like, whew, glad that's over. But no, the entrance was really cool. And I do think I'm just interested. I just hope the Guns like stay engaged in storylines and stuff like that, and they're not just like back on Dark or whatever after this, because I really do enjoy them as an act.
I was shocked at how bad this was because one I love FTR and I was like all right, they'll get a dramatic match out of the Guns and people are gonna be into seeing them win the belts and stuff because they put their careers on the line. So I genuinely, maybe this is delusion, Parker, I mentally penciled this in at like 4 going in. I was like, they're gonna have a great match with the Guns, because we've seen stuff like that in AEW happen, and we've seen the Acclaimed
Acclaimed is a perfect example.
Yeah, we've seen the Acclaimed transform before our eyes, so I just assumed that was going to happen again. And then I was watching, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And so I was kind of caught off guard by that. and it was really clunky. Thankfully for them, it stayed heated the entire way through. And they had the fans, even with all the weirdness with like the referee and like are they going to disqualify them? We're not going to disqualify them. Keep going. And they're like,
yeah, that was stupid.
Yeah. And they're like, don't disqualify. Let's keep going. It's like, wait, is the match over? No, it's not. And it's like, all right, okay.
And I'm so like, okay, all due respect to Dax, who's a very talented wrestler, but the fucking working the fucking marks or whatever with your tweets. Oh, cool, dude. You tell me, whoa, you hate Dave Meltzer, the person you talk to all the time? And it's like nobody in the entire world thought that the Guns were losing this. And that's the whole point of the stipulation is you want to create that doubt that's like, oh my God, is FTR going to leave AEW? And then it didn't happen at all. Nobody thought that. And then they're coming out today and they're like, guess what? We were never going to leave AEW.
No shit.
And I was like, oh, no fucking kidding, dude. You didn't want to go to the shitty garbage promotion. You wanted to stay in the good promotion. Whoa, that's crazy. So yeah, I don't know.
Literally nobody thought they were leaving at some point. You know, like it became abundantly clear. Like in fact, like, bro, when the Guns won these belts,
it was obviously the point. Yeah.
Yes. Like when they won, everyone's like, the only justification for them winning is because FTR are staying. They're coming back and they're gonna win these belts back. Like anyone who like thought about it a little bit concluded
just needs to stop doing that. Like it just sucks. Like it actively took away from the drama of the match because I knew because of how heavy-handed he was being. It's like when WWE when they make on the Go Home show they have the person who's going to win get pinned or whatever. Yeah. It's like so heavy-handed that it becomes obvious. And it was
Parker. This guy's on his podcast like, this episode is dedicated to Triple H. It's like
nice, dude. What? Can he say that?
And if you listen to the podcast, he's over here bearing out all the WWE officials, and he's like talking nicely about Tony Khan. Not even like he's not even saying bad about the company.
But like for the longest time on this pod, dude, he literally was like he's trying so hard to work people. So it's just like he's in there like
a week ago, he's like, "You'll see where we are in a week's time. You'll see where we stand."
He was saying that. He's also saying, idiot. Bro. He was saying something like, "I'm getting a lot of heat for this podcast. A lot of people are real mad at me for what's going on in this podcast." Meanwhile, Tony's like, "Yeah,
you're 38 years old."
And I love that.
If they had just gone silent on social media in the build up to this, it would have been 10 times more impactful.
I would have believed.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But Charlie, what did you think of the match?
It was a match. It happened. The Guns had a great entrance, and they looked like champions. Their gear has been on point for like the last 2 months as well. Like, say what you want about wrestlers, but they've got the presentation down. I will always give them props for that.
Mm-hmm. I think Austin Gunn is charismatic.
Yeah, he is. Like, they've improved in promos and stuff as well. Like, when they're like doing the more like serious heel stuff, they're getting good at everything outside the ring. And Austin's like not bad in the ring. So when they tie it all together, they're going to be a solid mid-card heel team, I think. But the match, FTR, man. I don't like FTR as it is, but I will always give them their props for good matches because I love tag team wrestling. Like, but this match was fucking shambolic. Like, I hated the finish. It was just messy, and I don't see the point of it. Like, I don't know. It was just all over the place, and I couldn't really get into it because they put it after the announcement as well, and it was always going to be the main event. And maybe that's on 100%. Me for not being able to like get back into it.
Understandable though.
But yeah,
understandable.
But they didn't give me a reason to get into it either. Like, there was nothing like outside the entrance for the Guns. There was nothing spectacular about it. Like, I don't know. It was there. It did what it had to, I guess. It put the belts on FTR. Dax is an idiot and doesn't know how to work people on social media.
Well, hold on.
He should have. No. They had the time off. Like, you knew they were re-signing because there's no way TK would have given them that time off if they weren't re-signing. I think they've been re-signed since like November, but that's just my thoughts on it. And then like he just wouldn't shut up. and he just kept chatting. It's just like, you've made it so obvious what's about to happen. So I don't know. It was kind of stupid. Glad they went off air quite quickly.
I'm glad FTR are the champions, though.
I'm not.
It was cool. It was cool seeing Mark come out and celebrate with them as well. That was a nice touch to get after. Manny, you got anything you want to add to the?
Since everybody said everything I wanted to say,
owned.
I'm gonna bring up something that happened after the show. Yeah, okay. I did pop when Dax put up that sign that says Vince fears Tony Khan. and then Tony Khan freaking out over it because he didn't want to hold it.
Yeah, and Tony. There's a reason why. Real quick. Tony's really good friends with a lot of people in Endeavor, so like he was just like, "Oh, just relax," like So yeah.
I don't know. I was gonna just like, it's kind of fun. It pissed me off so much when I saw the graphic because he made me put up with so much clickbait BS on Twitter for like 5 months.
He didn't make you do that.
I mean, yes, he did. It was on my timeline. There's no way around it. And then just him at the end being like, "Yeah, we're fucking Tony guys,"
Yeah.
Tony rules, brother. What happened, Charlie?
All right.
Nothing. I was laughing at what Manny said.
It's just Manny's comedic timing,
Yeah.
Anyway, right. So I've been saving all the super chats. So if you want to get any in, get them in like right now because we're gonna do these super chats and we're gonna get out of here. We do have a lot, so we're gonna speed through the ones that we can.
30. Man.
All right. Brainbuster 199, appreciate you. Pac versus Rouge for the international title, please.
Sounds awesome.
Like good stuff. Lamora, $5, appreciate you. How popular is AEW in UK exactly? Does it really compare to WWE over there, or is AEW expecting other Europeans to travel in? I don't think it compares to WWE. I don't think it compares to WWE. But
hold on, I like that we have 2 British people on the panel, and Ibu was like, "Hey, I got this one, guys. I know."
So even I was like, "What is he doing?" Like, anyway,
I will say,
I
go to live shows a lot.
Mm-hmm.
AEW is the topic of conversation. WWE rarely gets talked about amongst wrestling fans over here, in my experience.
Yeah. So you've got it's similar to the US. Like you've got the fans who are WWE fans. Do you know what I mean? And it's like they'll go to the WWE shows and the house shows when they come to the city and stuff. And you've got like the pro wrestling fans that are going to all these Rev Pro shows. They're going to watch Bill Ospreay. They've watched Aussie Open fucking 20 times over the past 2 years. The Charlies of the world,
and there's not that much overlap these days with those types of people.
But like these set of fans that I'm talking about, like they've been starved, brother. Like obviously, like the British Indies was like a real big hot thing before the speaking out movement, and of course the formation of AEW. Those 2 things absolutely wiped out the British Indies, but they were hot, man. Like Grado selling out arenas.
Grado,
the good old times. Listen, but this is what I'm saying, bro. Like
UK both nights.
British fans will pack out an arena for Grado. Think what they'll be doing for All In at Wembley. So they're exactly.
It's gonna be a great time.
Pedro Tachi Quinn, I believe. 199, appreciate it. All right, Ibu, tell me, will Vince be in Portland?
Pedro, thank you for the super chat.
Hurry
Triple
up.
H's team finished their creative meeting this morning. They finished SmackDown by 12 p.m. Vince was not in the meeting. They just put together the entire show without his blessing, which to me sounds really dangerous. But they're hoping he's not going to be there. And when I was talking to someone very involved and high up in creative, he sounded like a guy who's proceeding as if Vince is not showing up, which I don't know if that's just delusion or if he got that guaranteed to him. But they're basically treating this as if he's not going to be there. I don't know what the hell is going to happen on Friday because Vince showed up on TV Monday at 7:50. So there you go.
Neb, $2. Ibu, when are we seeing Seth in AEW?
Depends on how many more of his segments get cut.
Louis, when you mention his name, is Tyler Black around here?
Louis 449. Appreciate you. Tony Khan, maybe I could drive a few laps in Wembley for All In. Don't invite George though. Much love, bro. Shout out Lewis Hamilton. Chi-Town Spurs, $2. Ibu, blue cheese or ranch with wings?
Oh, I thought he said blue chew. I was like, what the fuck? Ranch. Actually,
You got to answer this correctly, brother.
that's a good one.
Blue cheese.
It depends on the type of chicken I'm eating. It depends on the chicken. You know,
You're eating wings.
I'm gonna go ranch.
Nah,
The Midwest.
blue cheese with wings will go fuck your mother, you know.
No,
I'd live off ranch.
With
I'm
buffalo
Iowa.
wings, blue cheese is crazy. You know, blue cheese is
Blue
crazy.
cheese is disgusting.
It's a bit, you know. Inside joke, you know. Graps on taps, £2. See Takeshita versus Sammy on Rampage. They were hooping. Listen, it was a busy weekend. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't watch Rampage.
It was a busy weekend, brother. Rob, of course, of the Unpurist family, the Rest Purist Galaxy. Shout out to him, always $5. Ibu, thoughts on Cody being cooked in front of 80k, and thoughts on when Jay White inevitably makes MJF look like a promo school student.
Cody being cooked in front of 80k prevented WrestleMania from being the best WrestleMania of all time, and really upsetting. And Jay White will not make MJF look like a promo school student because
Yes, he will.
MJF's a tremendous promo.
No, it's not.
Sapito, $1.99. Appreciate you. What three matchups would you all have to sell out Wembley? Punk versus Omega, Bucks versus FTR, and Goldberg versus Darby Allin.
I was going to say Goldberg versus Will Ospreay. Can you imagine, bro? I'd fly today if it was Goldberg
Today,
versus
you just fly out today and wait for August.
Yeah. And I'd hang out. I'll hang out with you, Charlie. It'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll go to the Rev Pro shows. It'll be great.
Any other suggestions?
I want to see Sting and Darby versus Goldberg and Wardlow.
Pop.
That's hilarious.
Giving Wardlow the rope, you know.
You're me now.
I don't care what you do with him, but if Ibushi turns up on this show, man, if they bring Kota in, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big.
Yeah, I'd seriously be considering bringing in Kota in for this show. I'd be blowing up Mercedes' phone as well, seeing what her decision's going to be made. Listen, man, believe, brother. The big Don TK can get anything done, you know.
You know, she's gonna worry about selling out SummerSlam.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. We'll see. But I'd be like Bruce said earlier when we were talking about it, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm pulling every string I can, you know.
Exhausting every week.
Get all those favors in, brother. You've got 80k seats to sell, you know. Darren Walker, £10. Yeah, Darren Walker, £10. Appreciate you. No matches for Hobbs or Takeshita on Dynamite, but instead we get the best friends. Wish those guys get back in the minivan and took to the Outlaw Wrestling shows. Darren Walker's so aggressive when he doesn't like.
I love him.
I love best friends.
They're just fellas like you, Darren.
Look, Darren, man, I'm waiting for Trent to slowly break away from those clowns, and it's taking a long time with it.
You know.
Yeah, Manny's with you, Darren. Manny's with you. Jamie, £5 super chat, of course, of the Dumb Guy Live crew, shouting out the big boss man, Parker. Hello, Mr. Dumb Guy.
Hello, Jamie.
Shout out Jamie, head writer of Wrestle Pure, is the head honcho. Lewis, $1.99 again. Appreciate you. Parker, big fan of Dumb Guy Live. God bless, bruv.
Love it. Thank you, Lewis. Love it. Thank you so much.
We've got a few off Bob the Builder, $2.20. Appreciate it. Ibu, what does WWE think of CM Punk's media scrum?
Oh, that's a good question. So Triple H thought it was funny. A couple people were like celebrating, like, I knew he was a piece of shit. That's the general consensus.
Ibu, do you think MJF is re-signed?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Look, man, all those people laughing at CM Punk, now look at them, man.
Now Hunter's having to walk out on TV and get his seat stake stolen.
Work together.
What the build up? How do I get in the Wrestle Purist group chat? Listen,
$400.
No, there's not. You can't put a price on these things. You know, we made a pact. We made a pact.
I'd leave like once a month and then come back. So
yeah.
Bob,
You never truly leave, and we never
Bob, if you pay me, I'll add you to the chat.
You can be in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord,
if you pay me $1,000, I will add you today. So
I'll do
for an hour,
like 150.
I left and nobody knows I was gone until Monty the next day, and he added me back.
Real graps.
It's hard to keep track, you know.
Murph YouTube 199, appreciate you. Of course, another member of the Dumb
What
Guy
in the
Live
hell?
trio. We're getting this Dumb Guy Live love, man. Shout out the Tuesdays, you know.
Yeah.
Got Parker on
It's
screen.
a good show.
It is, man.
we had almost as many views as Unpurist this past week.
That's awesome.
Shout out the brand. Murph
Yes, I would,
YouTube
Murph.
199. Manny, would you sacrifice every Mexican for Nigel?
Yeah,
He
I'm
just
British.
answered.
He said, "Yeah, I'm British."
That was a great answer. That was good.
Mason Rollison, $5. Appreciate it. Was it just me, or did Dax look unusually slow last night?
Yeah.
He's hurting, brother. He's hurting.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dax is really beat up. Like, he has a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Good. Better make him champion.
Well, choices, eh? Bob the Builder, $2 again. Appreciate these questions. Need Parker's impersonation.
for a bite. I don't know the difference. Ow, my leg.
That was great.
Shoito Spurs, $2. I need more MJF musical numbers. Listening, the boy can sing.
Just tell him to start a Spotify page or something. I don't know.
Trust the process. 34, $9.99. Appreciate you. 2 backup 0. Around when do you anticipate Punk returns? Double or Nothing, Forbidden Door, closer to All In, or do you expect that he and the Elite do business, or will they stay away from each other and each do their own things?
Trust the process. Thank you so much for the money. When he comes back, I am honestly not sure. Punk has healed up, and regarding the Elite doing business with Punk, a lot of people in that 6-person sphere are willing to do it, but not everybody. And so it's not going to happen unless everyone's on the same page. And they're not all on the same page in terms of doing business.
We'll see. It's being worked on, I assume. You know.
Yes, it is being worked on.
Yes, that's probably. When does Punk come back? I think it'll be after Forbidden Door. If I had to guess, that's not a very
Tanahashi match.
Yeah, I know. But if I had to guess right now, that's when I'd guess. All right. Mazfan 84 199. Ibu, is Vince coming at Triple H for snitching on him?
Snitching.
I don't know. I just know that Stephanie McMahon hates her father, and that's why she left immediately. And Hunter is more passive aggressive and trying to he's just
plays the game. No pun intended.
He's trying to play the game, but at the same time, it was expressed to me that in today's creative meeting, Hunter kept screaming about I just want to create, and if I am not allowed to create, then there's no he basically just kept ranting about I just want to create, which to me reads as why is he not letting me do these things, you know? But yeah, man, I think he's gonna quit if this continues for more than a couple weeks. Genuinely,
trust the process. Not literally. I'm talking about the super chatter. Trust the process 199. Initial all-in attendance number prediction. I'm going for 55.
37,000.
All right.
Man, Parker.
I'm going 75.
Oh. Manny's
WrestleMania didn't do 75.
He's British.
His ass. I mean, what do you want? This is
That's
all
a good point, Manny. That's a
there's no trains in Dallas, or whatever it is,
It was in LA.
40. That's a good point too. 44,000.
Also, there's a couple points that me and Charlie will know, but I'm not sure if you guys will know. So August 27th is the day before bank holiday, so everyone's going to be off work on the Monday. It's also the same time of year as the Notting Hill Carnival, which is the biggest carnival in the UK. These are all things going on in London at that time, So I think literally like every UK fan that is aware of wrestling outside of WWE is probably going to be at this show if it's priced appropriately. Like I said earlier, man, I think they're going to surprise some people, man.
And plus, it's AEW. They're going to round up the number anyways, like WWE does.
Shout out them. All right, Frank Lampard, $5. Pop, welcome back. Think I'll challenge Stevie Gerrard for a match. Ha ha ha. No, but seriously, this show is an ambitious opportunity for AEW. It's the most ambitious thing, man. I love it.
Some moments on that in that stadium.
Fires me up, brother. Darren Walker, £5. Appreciate you again. I live in London, only 45 minutes away from Wembley Stadium. I'll be going. You better be. I want to see Darren Walker. You know,
Montel X.
the legend, Walker. The legend of Darren Walker. We need.
Look, if there's enough WrestlePurists family members going, they're gonna do a meet and greet at a pub, right? Imagine.
Yeah, imagine.
Charlie's gonna do. Charlie's going to be signing 6x4s with a point,
Oh my god!
We do like a live watch long or whatever most podcasts do. Get on these big weekends.
I
need Charlie pulling a Mercedes where like she takes pictures with people, but like at like a ridiculously wide distance from the person standing there.
Some
Lord Stephen Regal, 999, appreciate you. Hello, gentlemen. Ibu, you lovely scrumptious buttercup. Yum, yum, yum. Heard a fantastic all-in news and wanted you to let Mr. Khan know I'd love to help him plan the event as my schedule is soon opening up. Very spiteful. Very, very spiteful. Darren Walker, £5, appreciate you. Best thing about All In, the best thing about All In be MJF on UK TV on the breakfast shows and other media shows. That'll be fun. MJF on this morning.
That would be really fucking funny.
Yeah, that'll be good stuff.
Just shitting on UK food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I need him in a Spoons. I need him to go to a Spoons and do an interview. I just think it'd be incredible.
Can you imagine trying out like UK snacks and be like, this tastes like garbage, and like just
it's like, what the fuck is this?
And just him in that environment's just funny. Like,
yeah.
Does anybody know what radio show that was where the guy said your band's not hot? I need people to go on that show.
You on Beats Radio 1?
Oh, it's on Beats Radio 1?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's not
hot. He thought it was he would have thought it was BBC Radio 1 extra.
Johnny's not playing the booth.
Right.
Pylons.
Pylons, $5. Should Sting have his last match at this show? If he wants it, like Sting, do what you want, brother.
Oh, we can't get the UKs have everything, man. Come on,
we shouldn't have his last match for another 5 years.
I do want Sting, Darby, and Goldberg to be in a 6-man tag.
Far 5222, $5. Appreciate you as always, the big man Far. Many men. Did indeed find the remote according to the quarterly hours.
Yeah.
The quarter went up.
No. It ended at like 700
the demo went up from the last segment.
Did.
The demo went up from the last segment. So the thing that killed it was, where was it now? There was a huge drop off or something. It was after the MJF quarter, I think. I can't be asked to fight. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was a Sammy Commander match. There was a big drop off after that, and then it held somewhat steady.
It went from like the Sammy Commander match. It was like 921 like K, and then like Guevara's live promo, it went down to 860.
Yeah. All right, last few super chats. Let's blitz. Rob, $5, of course. Mr. Unpurist again. I appreciate you. Someone said Goldberg told Wardlow they're gonna make money together.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Yuzura Hart, $5. If they book Omega in a trios match at the biggest show of the year, I'll be mad. Punk Omega singles, commit. Listen, bro, balls on the table, bring it for the fences.
Well, you should do both and do one at All In and one at All Out.
I'm with it. Madson 84 199, appreciate it. If All In is a success, TK will do a Tokyo Dome show.
100%.
I love it.
Man, ballsy. It's the sort of shit shit that I stand TK for,
I think a Wrestle Kingdom either next year or the year before, one of the Wrestle Kingdoms should just straight up be an AEW New Japan show.
I thought the first stadium show they were going to do was going to be the Tokyo Dome. So,
well, Wembley, brother.
Wembley,
I know.
Oh yeah. We're cooking. Darren Walker, appreciate you again with the £2. Ibu, will you be on Monday or Wednesday shows?
I will never leave Russell Pierce Worldwide, so you will always see me there.
Changing.
Yes, but not for this show, not for Monday. Yeah, I'm going to continue to be on Worldwide. It's going to be more shaky for the other shows, but I'm backup hangman, so I'll figure out something to do on this channel on Sundays. You know what I mean?
All right, man. Mushin Iqbal Raja 199. I hope I got that right. Happy Ramadan, Ibu.
Muhsin, thank you so much, brother.
Bob the Builder, another $2. Appreciate you again. Need Ibu and Parker, Mikey Ruckus impersonations.
Ibu and I, we get posted up in the lab every once in a while.
Absolutely.
We start doing a little bit of alchemy in there, and we'll release it someday.
Absolutely. Monty, did you hear my Mikey Ruckus Imperium theme song?
Oh, I've heard many things.
Ooh, I can't say what I said for that in the on the pod. Unfortunately,
I'm a DM you guys. Do it.
Short on Spurs $2. Go to a spoon so we can buy you stuff. Pop.
Sounds good.
Oh yeah, because there's the app where people can order you things.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Zero Prime $2. Appreciate you. Ibu, is AEW going to sign more Joshi wrestlers in the future?
I don't know anything for sure. I just know that Kenny Omega is pro Joshi and is pro getting them on the show. And the reason why you're starting to see more of them regularly on TV is an absolute product of Kenny Omega advocating for it.
Impressive job getting the characters within the limit there, Zero Prime. I see that's what you were going for.
Shout out him. Murph, again, appreciate you, brother. 199. You guys ready for Adam Cole on Lowry?
You might not be that far off.
I say, man, imagine
good one, Murph.
Tony. I mean, Adam Cole, man. Adam Cole is like the best job ever. He just comes out there and announces stuff for Tony Khan.
Yeah, man. Not a bad gig.
He's the strongest soldier.
He might be heavily involved in the UK press tour. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Charlie Thomas, £5. Appreciate you. Danielson versus Ospreay and CM Punk versus Omega. It sells out.
Sounds good.
Said it. That's optimistic.
Sells out. That'd be wild.
Sounds good to me.
I don't put anything against AEW. They'll never lose.
Could you imagine if they even get remotely close? Well,
that's awesome.
That would be
gotta be
for the rest.
One of the most insane feats in modern wrestling. You know.
Did Progress sell out Wembley Stadium or a Wembley Arena?
No, they. What was their biggest? I can't remember what their big. I think their biggest attendance was in Alexandra Palace, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
The biggest UK event outside of WWE recently was Royal Quest.
Yep, that did 2K per night.
Yeah, so there was Royal Quest, and then there was then there's just like when Rev Pro run York Hall, I guess they'll always kind of they'll go all out for York Hall. But yeah, like I said earlier, man, like in recent years, it's like that's as good as it gets for like English fans. Like you might get a random New Japan show on it that'll have like one great match that everyone's gonna buy the tickets for, because like FTR versus Aussie Open was the main ticket seller for that.
Right.
They could do that again. Yeah, they could do that again. All in. I won't be against it. All right. Just the process again. $4.99. Go on, man.
No, I was just reading Sean's FIFO update about Jay White and how he signed the WWE and AEW. It was funny because it just said that WWE were even confident that they're going to land White. They were told, where is it? Both showed Triple H and William Regal. It's not like a long thing. It's like the words are small.
Oh my God.
We're told that Triple H and William Regal both showed interest. However, WWE higher up said that the company failed to communicate properly along the process.
Cool.
That was my favorite part.
Hell yeah, dude.
Failure to communicate. In fact, a poor amount of communication when it's something like that is intentional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they intentionally went cold. You know.
So
it's like whether that's Vince or someone being like, I don't like the look of him. Something weird's gone on behind the scenes at WWE there. If it was a communication breakdown thing,
there's speculation that WWE's in the middle of a hiring freeze.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what it is. I think that's it, they just didn't want to sign anyone.
Yeah, they're just processing the sale and finalizing it and doing all the paperwork for that. So it's definitely okay. Just the process $4.99. Ibu, when are you starting your $5 Patreon and dropping exclusive wrestling news?
Sounds really bad.
I'm seriously considering it. So stay tuned.
People will stop talking to you.
Comic Critical, $2. Appreciate it. What do you think with Pac at Wembley? Yeah, we touched on it earlier, man. Look, hopefully he gets like a nice featured match, like an international.
There's just like so many dudes on the roster. You can put him in there. You do Pac Osprey again. That was a big match in the UK that happened that didn't have like a finish because of politics things, and you can do a finish for it now. That'd be pretty cool.
The fans were so angry after that finish. So running
match
that
was awesome too.
The match was incredible.
Yeah. It was just the finish.
The finish, it was hilarious seeing how angry everyone got about it.
All right, well, that was all the super chats. We've done the Dynamite review. We've touched on the big news that came with Dynamite, so I think we're ready to get out of here, man. And I'm going to catch the last half of Ring of Honor.
Oh, hey, I'm like Dax. Like my nails are painted, but nobody. I promise nobody actually looked bad at me because nobody cares.
Kind of fake.
Shout out Parker. Shout out Charlie, of course. But yeah, man, Dynamite. Tomorrow's obviously we got the Unpurist podcast at 6:00 Eastern. Rob, AO, Chris or Bread. If Chris is internet decides to work. Yeah, man, we're gonna be getting to it. Obviously, shout out Tony Khan, putting his balls on the table. Have to respect it. Being a real billionaire promoter and doing real billionaire promoter shit. We stand. I'm on the team until August 28th. And then we'll see. We'll reevaluate things, But you've got me for now. Please like, subscribe. Anyone got any plugs? Any plugs? No?
Follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, follow us all on Twitter. Like I said, like, subscribe, because of course it helps, especially the likes. Always have to hammer home with the likes. It does help us out with the views and the stuff like that. And just like the video if you can, basically. And we will catch you tomorrow. And I'm going to end with this again.
Coming back, AEW. And if anybody can put this company over when they're good, it's me.
Wait, we're still live?